Investigators found 2 bodies in 2 counties. Why state police believe both cases are connected.
He was a loving, kind person of all people.
The body of the greatest of all time is back in Kentucky. How Muhammad Ali's family is remembering the legend. Several properties on a Bath County road are a mess tonight.
The next farm down took a building down.
We're talking to families cleaning up storm damage.
This is WKYT News.
2 bodies found in 2 days. You're watching WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. State police found a body in a cabin in Wolfe County today. They believe that body is connected to a homicide investigation in Montgomery County. Deputies there say yesterday a fisherman found a body near the water under the Slate Creek Bridge. WKYT's Victor Puente takes a look at both cases in our top story.
State police are investigating 2 bodies found in 2 different counties. They've also made 2 arrests. The arrest citations of Carla Hunt and Talmadge Branham claim they washed the blood out of a car that was used to transport a body from Wolfe County to Montgomery County. Kentucky State Police say the 2 were with 3 other men at a cabin off of Highway 11 in Wolfe County. They say 2 of those men got into a fight with the 3rd man and shot and killed him. The man who died is from Dayton, Ohio, and his body was found yesterday beneath a bridge on Bedford Road in Montgomery County. The citations say Hunt and Branham then drove those other men to Lexington, but stopped in Winchester to spray blood out of the car they had rented. Says they then returned that car to Enterprise in Mount Sterling. State police say a second body, that of a woman, was found outside of the cabin during their investigation. Police haven't said how they believe she died. Both bodies have been sent to the state medical examiner's office. Branham is from Jeffersonville. He lives a few miles away from where that body was found in Montgomery County. I spoke to his mother earlier today. She said she couldn't say anything because she hadn't talked to him yet. In Wolfe County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Arrest citations claim Branham and Hunt didn't know the full names of the men they were with at the cabin. We are learning new information tonight about a man charged in a double murder in Laurel County. 34-year-old Bradley Lawson was already in jail when deputies charged him with Donnie and Sharon Jackson's murder. The couple died in their home in March 2015. A federal indictment shows Lawson was serving time in jail for federal drug charges. Investigators say he'd been driving to Georgia buying meth and selling it in Kentucky. Jury selection in Lexington begins tomorrow morning in the trial of Mark Taylor. Taylor faces murder and kidnapping charges for the 2013 death of Alex Johnson. Police say they found Johnson's body inside a barrel in the Kentucky River. Attorneys expect Taylor's trial to last 2 weeks. The body of a hometown hero is back in the bluegrass. Boxing legend and Kentucky native Muhammad Ali passed away this weekend at a hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. His body arrived at the Louisville airport about 2 hours ago. The funeral for Ali will take place later this week in Louisville. While his legacy lies with Kentucky, it's felt strongest on Louisville's west side. CBS's Kenneth Craig is talking to family members who returned to his childhood home today.
Long before Muhammad Ali became the greatest, he could only dream of greatness growing up inside this pink house in Louisville, Kentucky. The home was restored and opened as a museum just days before his death Friday.
Come, folks!
Ali's childhood friend, Sonny Fishback,
My brother. Well, go right in.
greeted visitors and shared stories about growing up with the champ.
We wouldn't believe him when we were kids, as he told the same stories he told as Muhammad Ali. Ain't no difference, same guy.
And what were those stories?
I'm gonna be the heavyweight champion of the world.
At Ali's family church, people celebrated his life and mourned his loss. Ali's brother broke down in tears.
He was a loving, kind person of all people. He would help anybody if he could. He's a wonderful saint. He was a wonderful man.
Ali's funeral on Friday will be open to the public at a downtown Louisville arena. Thousands are expected, and the service will be streamed around the world. Ali was great in the ring and around the microphone.
I can drown a drink of water and kill a dead tree. Wait till you see Muhammad Ali.
George Foreman, who lost to Ali in one of the most famous fights ever, says that combination made him the greatest.
He belonged to the arts because he had poetry. He had it all.
Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Louisville, Kentucky.
Ali's funeral will be Friday afternoon at 2 at the KFC Yum Center. The service will be translated and streamed on the internet. Former President Bill Clinton, Billy Crystal, and Bryant Gumbel will give eulogies at his funeral. There will be a private ceremony Thursday for family. Muhammad Ali mourners are abuzz tonight. Some are saying the champ sent them a sign. A swarm of bees showed up this morning in a tree next to the Float Like a Butterfly, Sting Like a Bee mural across from the Muhammad Ali Center. A beekeeper counted at least 15,000 bees on the tree. For some fans, seeing the bees near the mural was emotional.
What I noticed when the bees came towards us, it was more of a calmness because it's like they wasn't trying to bite you, you know what I'm saying? It was just trying to get a message across.
The beekeeper says he has never before been called to collect bees from that tree. We will see a few more storms across the region as we wrap up our weekend. But WKYT's Mike Linden is tracking some drier weather for the start of the work week. Hey, Mike.
Hi, Kristen. Those storms far and few between now, though. Things have cleared up a lot quicker than anticipated. We look across the state and things are really much calmer, looking quite pretty as we close out our weekend. How about in Lexington? The live sky camera seeing some blue skies there. As far as the cloud cover goes, too, still seeing some thick, puffy clouds, but they have begun to break from that gray, kind of gross look that we've seen over the past several days. Still a chance for some active weather through the evening hours, but again, most of that moisture is being zapped right out of the atmosphere. Just a chance for some scattered showers, and if we are going to see storms, they will occur closest to the southeastern mountains as our evening rolls on. But for the upcoming work week, now that things have calmed down a little bit, we'll see those temperatures dip down into the middle of the work week too. But by the weekend, they'll head right back up, and we could even be making a run at summer-like temperatures before the official start of the season. That's all coming up in my full forecast coming up.
In Owsley County Road is back open tonight after high waters covered it this morning. The sheriff's office says all the recent rain caused Sugar Camp Road to flood. Deputies did not have to rescue anyone from the water, but say it did cause problems for them. They had difficulty making it out to a medical call. A handful of families in Bath County are cleaning up after this weekend's storms. High winds damaged about 4 homes in the Oakley Pebble, Wyoming Road area. WKYT's Mike Byers talking to homeowners.
Piles of rubble, damaged barns, and downed power lines. This is some of the mess Stuart and Mary Snedegar has to deal with after yesterday's storm ripped through their Owingsville property.
After it all settled down, we come out and look, and we've seen the barn roof off against the fence. There's some damage in the machinery shed.
Stewart says this barn is vital to his farm, which is why the damage to it is his biggest concern.
That's what I'm worried about more than anything, getting the barn back and getting the roof on it, because we use that barn a lot.
Now, the Snedegars received a lot of damage in the storm, but here's the crazy part. A blade of grass is stuck in the fence. Now, Bath County Emergency Management says it would take winds around 85 miles per hour for something like this to happen.
It's pulled the rafters out.
At this point, Emergency Management doesn't believe a tornado is responsible, but they say the damage came from straight line winds mixed with a microburst. This combination didn't just affect the Snedegars, but it also took its toll on other properties along Wyoming Road.
The next farm down took a building down, and then it just cleared up, and that was it.
Although this family has a lot to clean up, both Stuart and Mary say they're just relieved no one was hurt.
That's the main thing. Everybody's all right.
Yeah.
This is just stuff.
Yeah.
And it can be fixed.
In Bath County, Mike Byer, WKYT.
The National Weather Service may be out tomorrow to determine just how strong those winds were. Still to come on WKYT, first responders are fighting through smoke and flames, why dozens are spending their weekend in Lexington.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
Well, we are almost all but done with the first weekend in the month of June, and what a weekend it has been. We've seen temperatures right around normal, but it hasn't felt like it with the mugginess that has been out there. But now, finally beginning to see some breaks in the clouds. The mugginess is improving, things are drying out, and it looks like the work week ahead is going to be rather interesting. Right now, looking at Breathitt County, a great shot there, and you can see some blue skies, the clouds beginning to break down, and if we look at the Defender radar network, there's hardly any active weather out there either. The moisture is almost all but gone. Of course, still seeing the cloud cover, but not really seeing very much rain nor any thunderstorms as we work our way through the evening hours. If there is going to be somewhere where we could see that, it will be right along the southeastern portion of the state closest to the mountains. Now, a cold front that brought us the active weather yesterday and into this morning is now pushing toward the eastern coast. Notice how large this front is as well, stretching from the Great Lakes southwestward all the way toward Texas, essentially dividing the Midwest into stormy and not. And we now happen to sit on the not stormy side of things. More mild air working its way in behind this front, but we could also be getting in on a few wraparound showers from that low pressure to our north. We'll get to that in just a moment. Right now, your temperatures still holding steady on normal. The upper 70s, low 80s for this time of year is right where you'd expect to be. A little bit warmer than where we were at this time yesterday, of course, with that lack of cloud cover, or the breakdown of cloud cover, I should say. Temperatures were able to warm up just so slightly. The next 24 hours are looking pretty good, though. As we head into the overnight period, we fall back to normal in the mid 60s, and by tomorrow, we rebound again to the lower 80s. It won't be until we get into the middle of the work week that we'll begin to see the effects of yet another cold front now behind that low pressure center. Now, tomorrow we could still see a chance for some active weather, just some rain showers, potentially a thunderstorm or two in central or northern Kentucky into Monday evening. But as that second front approaches into Tuesday, not only will that give us one last shot at storms, but it will also bring us cooler air, taking temperatures down that much more. So while the humidity is already in the process of drying out, by the middle of the work week, that cooler air is going to push temperatures down, putting a pretty low ceiling on those highs as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, falling back into the lower 70s. Could even see a few spots struggle to break the upper 60s. But what goes down must come up, and it looks like that is going to be the case by next weekend, Kristen. We work our way back into the mugginess, with temperatures leading the way in the upper 80s, potentially low 90s.
And back to those storm chances.
That's right.
Dozens of firefighters are in Lexington this weekend, sharpening their skills at State Fire School. Firefighters and first responders from the Commonwealth and surrounding states are participating in more than 40 courses geared to help them keep us safe. WKYT's Sean Moody attended class today.
I can't find my crew members. Rescue 1 Mayday. Rescue 1 Mayday.
It was an intense day for these firefighters. That's the way it's supposed to be. They came from across the state and they're training for rescue situations. They're simulating responding to fallen firefighters inside a burning home.
You got him out. He's good. You got him out. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
They got this guy out. A lot of firefighters in real-world situations, though, aren't as lucky.
We lose roughly 100 firefighters across the nation a year.
Captain Dustin Whited and the other firefighters out here today hope training like this can bring that number down.
Now, of course, they can't entirely simulate a real deal house fire, but this is about as close as it gets. You take a couple of steps inside the door and you can't even see your hands in front of your face anymore.
Inside, unable to see much of anything, firefighters work feverishly to find fallen colleagues and get them out. It's something they're glad to do today, but hope they'll never have to do in the real world. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Firefighters say that is the longest running fire training school in the country. It's their 87th year. Lee K's in next with sports. UK fans are remembering Muhammad Ali's visit to Rupp.
And they are. It was a memorable moment for many, including a former player who had an interaction with the heavyweight champ back on that day in 1995. And Game 2 of the NBA Finals tips off tonight, what the Cavs can't do if they want to tie up the series. That's next in sports. Muhammad Ali will be remembered not only for his boxing career, but for what he stood for and believed in when he wasn't wearing the gloves. He was a fighter until his final breath late Friday night. On February the 18th, 1995, the Louisville native paid a visit to Lexington to fight racial tensions in the city, stemming from an officer-involved shooting of a black teenager by a white police officer. He made a stop at the Dunbar Community Center before attending the UK basketball game against Florida later that evening. And the highlight of the night was the three-time heavyweight champ forming the Y at center court. Rick Pitino described it as a thrill of a lifetime. There was even a brief moment late in the game between Ali and Jeff Shepard after Shepard had been fouled hard and punched in the nose. Shepard says that's a moment and a day that's very memorable.
I remember having a little cut or something and coming out, and I sat beside him, and I kind of turned to look at him, and he turned to look at me, and nothing was said. But, of course, Muhammad Ali had the best facial expressions maybe of anyone ever. To say it was an honor would be an understatement. To have a champion like that, to be a part of our team, no matter how brief of a moment it was. He was there with us and a part of the team, and just his presence told his story.
And what a neat moment that was. More recently, the 2015 UK basketball team had an unforgettable interaction with Ali. This picture was taken on September the 26th, 2014, on a visit to the Ali Center in Louisville. It was part of a preseason team building activity just ahead of the Cats' historic season. Each player even had a chance to take an individual picture with a three-time heavyweight champ. Here's Ali with a freshman, Tyler Eulis. A representative from all 30 NBA teams was in Orlando today to watch former Wildcat big man Skal Labissière work out. He was able to show off his range, knocking down NBA threes. He's also been working on his post-up game. Labissière is a projected lottery pick in the draft later this month. Game 2 of the NBA Finals tips tonight. Warriors took Game 1 thanks to 45 points from their bench. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson combining for just 20 points in the win. If the Cavs are to tie the series tonight in Game 2, they will need to stop all of the Warriors' weapons.
As far as Steph and Klay, at the end of the day, those guys and this team is here not because of just those two. And we got to respect the rest of those guys like we respect Steph and Klay.
No, I just need to play better to help my team. I don't know what that will mean statistically, but that's when we're at our complete best as a team is I usually am playing a pretty good game, so I don't think I needed to press to score a certain amount of points or whatnot.
The Reds have been on a roll after dropping 11 straight. Cincinnati entered Sunday's series finale against the Nationals with wins in 5 of their last 6. Going for a sweep on Sunday, Cincinnati had the bases loaded in the second. Ivan DeJesus Jr. doubles to the wall in left. That'll clear the bases. Jay Bruce, Adam Duvall, and Eugenio Suarez all score. 3-0 Reds. Same inning, Tyler Holt takes the pitch to shallow center field, drops in for a hit. DeJesus scores, then Tucker Barnhart. It's 5-0 Reds. But the Nats would storm back, scoring 5 in the 4th. Lexington Catholic product Ben Revere with the base hit to right. That would tie the game at 5-all. Nationals would jump out to the 10-5 lead in the 6th. Reds would rally, but they come up short, 10-9. Earlier today, Novak Djokovic became the first man in nearly half a century to win 4 consecutive major championships with his victory over Andy Murray in the French Open. The French Open had been the one that had eluded Djokovic's run at a career Grand Slam. Sunday was his 4th appearance in the final at Roland Garros. And at the Memorial in Dublin, Ohio, just finished watching it right here on WKYT. William McGirt defeats John Curran in a sudden death playoff to win the tournament. Former UK golfer J.B. Holmes shoots a final round of 69 to finish at 13 under in a 4-way tie for 4th. We will have some highlights from JB's round coming up tonight at 11 o'clock.
Way to go for him.
Absolutely.
We will be right back with a final look at weather. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $260 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $123 million. We're getting rid of that rain for a couple days.
Yes, we are. It's feeling better already. Get ready for what looks to be a cooler than normal work week ahead of us here, especially into the middle of it, with temperatures falling back into the mid to low 70s. A chance at more active weather tomorrow, but only a little bit isolated over northern Kentucky. And by next weekend, we recover, and in a big way, back to the upper 80s. Could even make a run at the low 90s a lot earlier than expected. It's not even officially the summer yet. We're already could be on our way to the upper 80s.
It is feeling like it. Hope you'll join us right back here at 11 o'clock tonight.
For you, it starts with a chime on your phone, a post in your timeline. But for us, it starts even earlier.
We're tracking breaking news.
Well, that shooting happened at just
Getting breaking news to you is what we do. WKYT stands for Kentucky.
Methadone clinics have been around for decades and done their best to stay below the radar.
You do get judged for coming to places like this.
Are they helping the state's drug epidemic or adding to the problem? Methadone clinics, Monday at 6 on WKYT.